Toronto is at a crossroads right now, and the weight of this moment is impossible to ignore. This isn't just another off-season rumor or speculative report that fades away after a day or two. This is real, substantive, and it has the potential to completely reshape the trajectory of this franchise. The Blue Jays are hungry. They're aggressive. They're operating with an urgency we haven't seen from them in decades. And after coming so close to a championship, after tasting what it feels like to be in the World Series, they've come back different. They're not content to sit back and hope things work out. They're making moves. They're pushing conversations forward. And now, the biggest domino of all might be about to fall. John Heyman just confirmed that the Toronto Blue Jays are officially on the short list of teams in serious discussions with the Arizona Diamondbacks about trading for Kettle Mart. Not exploring, not kicking tires, in serious discussions. That's a massive development because Marty isn't just a solid player who could help the team. He's one of the most valuable players in all of baseball over the last 3 years. His production is elite, his contract is incredibly team-friendly, and he fills a position of need for Toronto in a way that makes perfect sense both now and for the next several seasons. Let's break down exactly what Marte brings to the table because the numbers are staggering. Over the last 3 seasons, he's posted a 16.0 wins above replacement. That puts him in rarefied air. His slash line during that span is 283, 368, 519. That's consistent contact, excellent on-base ability, real power, and the kind of production you build championship teams around. And he's not just an offensive weapon, he's an elite defender at second base. He gives you value on both sides of the ball, which is exactly what teams covet in today's game. But here's where it gets even better. Marte is under contract through 2030. Let me repeat that, through 2030. And his salary structure is absurdly team-friendly. He's making $16 million in 2026, $12 million in 2027, and around $20 million per year after that. For a player of his caliber, those are bargain numbers. When you compare his production to his salary, there are maybe 5 contracts in all of baseball that offer better value. For a team like Toronto that wants to win now, but also needs to be smart about long-term financial flexibility, Marte is the perfect fit. And the timing of this is critical. The winter meetings are happening right now in Orlando. Every executive is in the same place. Phones are ringing constantly. Deals are being made in real time. This is the week where things happen fast. Conversations that are exploratory on Monday can turn into serious negotiations by Wednesday. And the Blue Jays know this. They're not sitting back waiting for the perfect moment. They're in the mix right now, actively discussing a trade that could change everything. But here's where it gets complicated. The Boston Red Sox are also involved. Toronto's division rival, the team they play 19 times a year, the team that would love nothing more than to swoop in and grab Marte before the Jays can get a deal done. That adds a layer of urgency to this entire situation because if Boston lands Marte, not only does Toronto miss out on an elite player, but they also watch a direct competitor get significantly better. That's a double loss. That's the kind of scenario that haunts front offices for years. And let's talk about what this means for the Blue Jays roster construction because it's fascinating. There's still uncertainty around Bo Bichette. Is he staying? Is he leaving? The Jays don't have complete clarity yet. But here's the thing. Even without knowing what's happening with Bo, there's a strong argument that Marte is the better long-term solution. Bo is eventually going to move off shortstop. Everyone knows that. His defense has been inconsistent, and as he ages, the shift to second base or another position is inevitable. Marte gives you elite defense at second base right now and for the next 5 years. He's not a question mark. He's a known commodity who produces at an elite level year after year. So even if Bo stays, you could theoretically have both, or if Bo leaves, Marte becomes the perfect replacement who might actually be an upgrade. That's the kind of flexibility Toronto needs to be thinking about. They can't afford to make decisions based solely on what's happening with one player. They need to build the best possible roster, and if that means acquiring Marte, regardless of Bo's situation, then that's what they should do. But acquiring Marte isn't going to be cheap. Arizona isn't looking to dump salary. They're not in financial distress. They're trading a superstar, and they want a significant return. And what they want is young pitching. Trey Evich is completely off the table. He's untouchable. But names like Johnny King, Ricky Tiedemann, Gage Stanifer, and Jake Bloss could absolutely be part of the conversation. That's the price you pay for a player of Marte's caliber, and Toronto's farm system isn't deep. They don't have an endless supply of elite prospects, but they have enough high-quality pieces to put together a competitive package if Ross Atkins decides this is the move to make. And here's where the decision gets interesting. Do you trade one or two of your top pitching prospects for a proven superstar who's under contract for 5 more years? Most teams would say yes in a heartbeat. The unknown of prospects versus the known production of a guy like Marte. That's not even a close call for a team that's trying to win now. Toronto just went to the World Series. They're not rebuilding. They're not waiting for prospects to develop. They're in win-now mode. And in win-now mode, you trade prospects for proven talent every single time. But the competition from Boston adds pressure. If Toronto waits too long, if they try to lowball Arizona or hold on to their prospects, Boston could come in with a better offer and take Marte off the board. And then what? The Jays are stuck scrambling for a backup plan while watching a division rival get stronger. That's not acceptable. That's not how you operate when you have a championship window wide open. And make no mistake, Toronto's window is wide open right now. They have Vladimir Guerrero Jr., they have George Springer, they just signed Dylan Cease. If they add Kettle Marty to that mix, and if they somehow also land Kyle Tucker, you're looking at one of the most dangerous lineups in all of baseball. That's a team that can go toe-to-toe with the Dodgers, the Yankees, or anyone else. That's a team built to win championships. But they have to close the deal. They have to be willing to part with the prospects Arizona wants. They have to be the most aggressive team in the room, because if they're not, someone else will be. And during the winter meetings, things move fast. A conversation today can turn into a finalized trade tomorrow. There's no time to waste. There's no time to sit back and hope things work out. John Heyman made it clear that nothing is imminent. The discussions are real, but they're still in the early stages. However, that can change at any moment. All it takes is one team to put together the package Arizona wants, and suddenly the negotiation is over. Toronto needs to be that team. They need to put their best foot forward and get this done before Boston or anyone else can swoop in. This is the kind of trade that defines an offseason. This is the kind of move that shifts the balance of power in the division. This is the opportunity Toronto has been waiting for. They've been aggressive so far. They've shown they're willing to spend money and make bold moves. Now they need to follow through. They need to land Kettle Marte and show the entire league that the Blue Jays are all in on winning a championship. Because if they don't, if they let this opportunity slip away, they're going to regret it. Marte is the kind of player who changes franchises. He's the kind of player who pushes teams from good to great. And Toronto is already good. They just need that one more piece to become great. Marte could be that piece. The question is whether they're willing to do what it takes to get him